I have to show you one of my favorite meals that I make when I'm feeding a crowd. So this is gonna feed 12 people and it's for under $70. It's gonna be salmon, a delicious baked potato with Boursin cheese on top, and then Brussels sprouts with onions, and then a French baguette with some butter on the side. It is just such a crowd pleaser. It's so delicious, and it's just something you can have just before a big party that is foolproof. It's easy to make and it's not that expensive, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna scrub a bunch of potatoes and pierce them like 5 to 8 times and throw them in a preheated oven at 425. And it depends on how big your potatoes are, on how long they're gonna cook, but these are pretty big. Like look at how huge this one is. This is the size of my head. So I'm gonna choose the smaller potatoes because right now I'm not actually feeding 12 people. I think I'm feeding 5. So we're gonna scrub 5 potatoes and probably have leftovers because these are ginormous. I know people cook their potatoes all different kinds of ways, but honestly, this is what works for me. So I'm gonna just poke them like, I don't know, 5 to 8 times. They're running off the cutting board. Make sure that they don't blow up in the oven, which I've never had happen, and I've also forgotten to poke them and they've been totally fine. But you can put a baking tray underneath them. These go straight on the baking rack, but if any liquid comes out of them, the baking tray will catch it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, this is olive oil. I know that you're supposed to keep olive oil in like a darker container. I don't know, it tastes the same to me, so it's in this one. This stays in the cabinet, so it's not like around direct sunlight. I just feel like it's easier to get the olive oil out. And then we're gonna take some salt and just put salt on them. You don't need a ton. It just makes the skin taste so good. And there's tons of nutrients in the skin of a baked potato. Also, if you notice, I have a new cutting board. It's not fancy, but my other cutting board is for everyday use with my family. But every time I cut beets on it or raspberries or anything, it dyes the cutting board. And I don't want to bleach my cutting board, so I don't know what to do with it. I can't like resand it, but that's a good everyday cutting board. And this one looks better for filming, so people don't think that, I don't even know why there's red all over my board. So these are going straight in the oven on the rack. While the potatoes cooked for the first 30 minutes, we decided to go on a run, and it's pouring rain out, and the app had a way longer run than I thought I was supposed to do, so I'm dying right now. But I'm gonna throw the salmon in and try to shower and all of that while the salmon cooks. So salmon this is what it looks like. These are the fillets, and they do have the skin on. So we're cooking them on parchment paper, preheated to 375. Now, you may wanna do this differently. That's okay, everybody cooks differently. But I put them in this bowl with a little bit of like lukewarm water for about 2 minutes, just to make it so I could get them out of the packages. So we're taking the salmon out and just placing it right on here. These are pre-seasoned. The reason I bought them is because I didn't have to do anything other than put them in the oven. And that is the kind of day I'm having. It's a Sunday, it's really busy. We have a million things to do. So this is just easy. There's 5 of us eating tonight, and I'm doing 6 fillets. I do have a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old, and my 13-year-old has a friend over for dinner, and maybe one of them is gonna want 2 fillets. So I think that is a good thing to always cook extra if you need it, but these are definitely the size that is perfect for one person. So this is more than 4 ounces for sure. All right, and then I'm gonna get to cooking the Brussels sprouts and the onions. And yes, you can do this for 12 people. That's what I had this meal for. But more to just show you that it's not gonna be so expensive if you wanna make a really good meal for a ton of people. So this all came out to around $70 for everything. And that is to feed 12 people. And that, I don't know, it's roughly $5, $6 a person, I think, if I'm doing calculations right. And that's amazing. And instead of going to a restaurant, this is a really, really nice meal. All right, so these are all arranged. Always wash your hands before you handle any kind of food, and then take your scissors. You could probably hear my dishwasher, so I can't put them in the dishwasher. It's going right now. Take your scissors, put them right in the dishwasher. Right now I have to put them in the sink, but I'm gonna go ahead and cook the Brussels sprouts and the onions, and I'll show you how I do those. Also, you can thaw these before you cook them, but I'm cooking them frozen. I had to stop my dishwasher because it's really loud, and now all the steam is coming out. Okay. All right, I'm only using half of the Brussels sprouts. It's my favorite chip clip. And just about that many. Make sure you wash your vegetables really well. And we're still kind of doing meals that have vegetables that you cook because I don't know what's going on with this whole cyclospora stuff. So we are trying to make sure that we don't get it because I do know multiple people who have gotten it near Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, go ahead and give them just like a nice little dry off. Okay, so you're going to just take the tip of it off, and then I always have my little paper towel where I can put the discarded little things on. So this is what they look like. These Brussels sprouts are awesome. And you know what? I'm actually not gonna cut them in half. I'm gonna cut them differently. Let me just cut these in quarters. So I'm gonna chop these differently because I don't have a ton of time to cook them. The salmon is only gonna take about 30 minutes. So I wanna cut these like this. You can cut them however you want. And I know many people have amazing recipes for Brussels sprouts, but this one is just super simple and honestly so delicious. All of the Brussels sprouts are gonna go on my pan, which is tilting over. So I have really bad endometriosis, and I have heard many times over the years that cruciferous vegetables are good for endometriosis. And the cruciferous vegetables are like cabbage, Brussels sprouts, I'm pretty sure broccoli, I know cauliflower, all of that. I mean, they're good, they're vegetables, they're good for you, so I'm sure they're good for many, many different things. So we're gonna space those out, and I'm gonna cut half of an onion. I say this all the time, I am clearly no chef. Oh my gosh, the steam is still coming out from my dishwasher. You can cut your onions however you want, but I'm just gonna chop them like this, throw them on the pan, and then let's get these guys seasoned and in the oven. These are gonna cook for about 20 minutes at 375 for like the last 20 minutes that the salmon's cooking. I've actually pulled the potatoes out because they look really good, and I'm gonna put them in for the last 10 minutes. I don't wanna overdo them, but I feel like potatoes are pretty hearty. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let me get my seasonings. So we're gonna spray olive oil on these guys. We're gonna put onion powder. Put as much as you want. The other day, this is garlic powder. The other day when I made crab legs with my son, people were really mad that I didn't season the crab legs, but we did have lemon juice and we had butter. So I don't know. If the crab legs taste good enough, I feel like lemon juice and butter on seafood in itself can be amazing. So pepper, and then we're gonna do salt. Give this a nice stir. I have the parchment paper under here, so it's kind of hard. So toss that around. You can add more seasoning if you want. This is going in the oven for 20 minutes at around 375. This is the finishing touch. You're gonna take one of your baguettes. If you're feeding 12 people, obviously you're gonna do both baguettes. So you're gonna cut it on a slant, just like that. And each person is gonna get, hi guys, I'm filming, but it's okay, I have my AirPods in. Hello. Okay, each person can get one, and then we'll have a little bit extra. So that's what they look like. And I'm probably gonna just throw these in the air fryer for just a couple minutes before we eat. And we have some of the good butter left. It's like the imitation Kerrygold butter from Aldi. I'm gonna cut this into little butter pads, and everyone's gonna have a few pats of butter for themselves. Dinner could never be complete without a 7-foot-tall Darth Vader in the corner of your dining room. There's the Brussels sprouts. They're so good. They tasted amazing. The bread I just warmed up for a couple minutes in the oven, and then the Boursin cheese went right in the middle of all the pats of butter. It's so amazing on a baked potato. The potato skin turned out super crispy. And then the salmon, I did like it, but honestly, I do prefer to season it myself, but this is just so easy. And then of course, we have games in our dining room because we are a board game family.